I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this is definitely something I don't think being talked about enough in the Tesla community. Maybe because it's a short-term thing, but deliveries in Q2 are probably going to take a fairly large hit because Giga Shanghai has been shut down for over a week now. It was in the last few days of Q1, and at this point, it doesn't seem to be opening anytime soon. So there's been, in total, close to 2 weeks of the factory shut down because the Chinese government has this zero COVID policy. And I'm not trying to get political or anything, we don't need to talk about world events going on right now, but the fact of the matter is, and how it pertains to Tesla, is that this was their biggest producing factory, okay? So I know we're getting hyped and excited about Giga Texas coming online, and Giga Berlin has started deliveries. Giga Texas has kinda started deliveries, but despite all of that, Fremont is now the largest Tesla producing factory right now, because in previous earnings calls, they did mention that Shanghai had reached a run rate that was surpassing Fremont, just with the Model 3 and Y. And we even saw some more recent delivery numbers posted about how in just the month of March, in Shanghai, Tesla was able to build over 65,000 vehicles in less than 30 days. Like, that's an insane number of vehicles, and I know everyone's really pumped for Tesla to break the 1 million delivery vehicle mark this year, and we're hoping that Tesla could break, 1.6, 1.7. Some Super Bowls out there are still convinced Tesla is going to hit 2 million vehicles delivered this year. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disagree on that one and say that not because Tesla has failed or anything, or they've done anything wrong, but simply due to circumstances outside of their control, they're probably not going to hit delivery numbers as high as we thought. Not just because the shutdown has lasted longer than we thought, and Shanghai was Tesla's biggest producer of vehicles up to this point. It means that there's a higher likelihood that throughout the year, the Chinese government may continue to shut down Tesla's factory when they don't want to be shut down. And at this point, there's not a real clear word on when it will come back online and start running again. I hope it starts anytime soon, but at first it was rumored to just be a couple days, then it got pushed to a week, now it's been pushed to 2 weeks, and there's really no concrete date in place yet. So because Shanghai was at such an incredibly high run rate, delivering over 30,000 Model Ys within a single month, that means that every one of these shutdowns and every time there's a day that goes by that Giga Shanghai does not open up again, there's going to be a significant dent in total vehicle production and deliveries. That's why, as far as the production numbers go for Q1 of 2022, 305,000 was actually a little bit less than what people were anticipating. It was likely directly correlated to the fact that the Shanghai factory was closed for the last few days. So yes, I do believe Giga Texas will start to offset this. I don't think Tesla's in trouble financially. They still have an absurd amount of money in the bank and cash on hand. They still have very high profit margins in the United States, and I'm sure Giga Texas, once they do start official customer deliveries, yeah, people are going to pay whatever Tesla asks for those first vehicles. I'm still expecting a very expensive standard range all-wheel drive. It'll probably be $60,000, and you'll only be able to get it with full self-driving for the first couple months. And, Giga Berlin is just doing performance Model Ys right now, which aren't really that cheap either. Both of these factories are using next-generation paint shops, more efficient ways of transporting materials throughout the factory, plus single-piece castings and all that. So, not trying to say Tesla's doomed or they're financially in trouble, just I think that we need to taper our expectations a little bit and just stop assuming that every factory is online and unstoppable and we have this max production rate right now, because look, Giga Berlin and Giga Texas are gonna take a year before they're at their full run rate, and Tesla's biggest factory, the factory that outputted the most vehicles up till this point, is currently shut down and may continue to be shut down for several more weeks. So I still think Tesla will probably out-deliver any other EV maker out there because they're not the only ones being affected by this shutdown, and because, there's less employees at the factory and less materials being used, operating costs should go down alongside production a little bit. But either way, I think it would be smart for more analysts out there to start accommodating for this in their estimates, and hopefully it can open up soon and Tesla can get back to their mission of accelerating the transition to sustainable energy as quickly as humanly possible. Thank you everyone for supporting the channel over on Patreon. It seriously helps out a ton, as does just watching these videos. Take care. Have a great day.